Okay, so welcome to your 5-day Reset Your Routine Challenge kickoff call. So, this is the orientation, and you're going to get a lot of information. We're also going to do a practice together. And then at the end, I'm going to be doing some group coaching, which I'm really excited about. So, first things first, I want to congratulate you for all showing up and saying yes to this opportunity. I really am feeling like this is what so many of us need right now. And thank you to everybody who is here present. And I know there's going to be a lot of people listening to the replay. So I just want to thank you for showing up and doing this work. Okay, so I know everybody who's live knows me, but I know some people who tune into the replay will be new. My name is Greta Ertl. I am a spiritual life coach and Kundalini Yoga teacher, and I primarily work with high achievers who are struggling to find balance, who are really overloaded in their schedules and have maybe experienced a lot of success in their careers and a lot of success financially, but are struggling to find that inner success, to find inner peace, to find a sense of who they really are, and are kind of like outsourcing their joy and their accomplishments to work and other people. And one of the main things I help people with is creating a daily routine, a daily spiritual practice. I really believe that is the foundation for fulfillment, because otherwise you can have all the boxes checked and have everything on the to-do list done. But if you don't have that connection with yourself, it's going to end up feeling empty. You're going to have a hard time being present. And then it's going to be like, what was that all for? And then life just kind of becomes this hamster wheel and this rat race. And that's not why I believe we're here on this planet. So the purpose of this call is to set you up for success. So I'm going to start with some housekeeping items, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and some of my beliefs and my philosophy about routine. And then I'm going to go through a list of setbacks and kind of pitfalls that can happen when you are establishing a daily routine and what to do about it. I spent a lot of time on this list. And then we're going to do a 15-minute practice together. And then I'm going to end with group coaching and questions and just have a space open for that. Okay. And in case you aren't aware, well, I'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay, that'll be in the housekeeping. Okay, here we go. So are we ready? Ready to go? Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited you're here. Okay, so here is the housekeeping information. So we are going to be on the same Zoom link every single day for the next 5 days. The live calls are going to be Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I know we have a few different time zones here represented. If you cannot make the call, it's totally fine. I'm going to be sending the replay shortly after the call is over. And so just try to do that call that day if you can, because each call is going to build on the next one. When you show up to the live calls, just like you are now, show up present. Please, if you can't have your video on, I love it. If not, I totally get it. And just try not to be distracted on your phone, because we are all feeding into each other's energy. And the replays will be available until January 1st. I want this to carry you through the rest of the year. After that, I'm not sure. I might package them and sell them. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's when they're going to be available for free through this program. And you are welcome to get coaching every single day. This is like one of the best values of this, is that you can get coached for free. And so if you have things you want to be coached on, or if you have questions you want to submit, because while you can't make the call live, you can send it to me in an email, send it to me in a text message, or throw it in the WhatsApp app group, and we can address it on the call, and then you can listen to it on the replay. Did everybody see the WhatsApp group invitation? I saw Hannah join, and I saw Ashley joined. And so definitely get into that group. I want to offer additional coaching, support, guidance. It's just a way to build community. I also want you to use that WhatsApp group to celebrate. Like, I did my routine today, it went great. Or, I'm struggling to get motivated. Like, let's all lean into that group and use each other. Okay. So that's what I have for housekeeping. I'm going to have space for questions at the end, but if anything arises during this beginning part when I'm talking, just drop it into the chat, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and why I love routine and think it's so crucial in today's world. So, I have a corporate sales background. I know some of you can relate to that type of lifestyle, or you're an entrepreneur, just a really fast-paced career, anybody's career, right? It's busy. There's a lot of demands, and I was really in this cycle of where I was very successful in my career and even in my relationships to some level, but I was so stressed on the inside. I was literally like having panic attacks almost daily. I was like, my health was breaking down, and I was just like, took everything inside of me to slap on a smile every day and go through the motions and get to the evening. And a big way that I managed that was through substances, was through just like taking a pill to wake up, taking, smoking weed to go to sleep, and then drinking. And it was just like this whole terrible cycle. And I discovered Kundalini when I was really trying to get out of that, and like needed something to help me like reconnect with myself and my own source of energy. And I had tried a lot of different things. I had tried traditional therapy, transcendental meditation. I had tried recovery programs. I was willing to try everything, but it wasn't until I tried Kundalini that I was really able to find something that I was able to stick with. And the big reason I was able to stick with it is because it worked and it gave me energy and it gave me sort of that natural high and connection to myself. And I've also incorporated journaling, EFT tapping, and some other practices that you'll learn throughout the week that have just become the most important thing in my life. Because when you have that daily routine where you're connecting with yourself, when you have that daily spiritual practice, then everything else in your life becomes easier. And so through having this daily routine, which I have kept, I consistent for almost 7 years. I can't even believe that. I literally have not missed a day of doing at least something. I really believe that's my credibility to offer you this today. It's like I really am embodying this. I'm living what I teach. And it's really allowed me to have such a wonderful life, a business I love that's growing, an amazing relationship. And it's not that my life is, perfect or stress-free. That's not why we signed up for, planet Earth, right? It's going to come with challenges and different obstacles, but the routine is what has kept me grounded. It's allowed me to up level to, new parts of my being. It's what's allowed me to experience so much more peace and joy and like the no drama life. And so that's what I want to offer to you, is that this is an opportunity for you to reclaim yourself, reclaim your time, reclaim your life. So that's a little bit about me and my credibility. So now we're going to go into the mindset I want you to have throughout this training and just some general beliefs I have about routine. So a daily routine, and I will also refer to this as a daily spiritual practice. So, you might think of routine a lot of different ways. The way that I'm addressing routine in this challenge is it's a daily connection moment, time chunk with yourself every single day. A morning routine, an evening routine, whatever you want it to be, that's your routine. Okay. So this routine is what allows you to own your day instead of the day owning you. It's where you establish your energy and your frequency for the day. It's time that's just yours, that you get to practice feeling how you want to feel. You get to practice feeling joy. You get to practice feeling peace, gratitude, success, right? So many of us have success in our lives, but we don't ever feel it. Like it never feels like enough. And that's because you're probably not allowing yourself to feel it and really bask in those feelings. So it's like, if you don't have a routine, you kind of rush into your day and then everybody wants something from you, right? You have to give your energy out. And when you have your daily routine, you claim that time for yourself before you give your energy to other people. And so, like, once you are done with your routine and you go out into the world, anything could happen, right? Like, it's really like the day is kind of the day. But if you have that routine on the front end, then you're kind of set up with how you want to move forward. You're set up with your energy. It's also an opportunity to charge your own batteries. You got to think about it sort of like, yeah, there's sleeping, and sleeping is its own thing, but sleeping is unconscious, right? A daily routine is intentional, conscious time where you're charging your batteries. It's also time set aside every day to work through challenges, to work through anxiety, to work through maybe a scarcity mindset or maybe an issue that you're having in a relationship. A lot of times, if you don't work on this proactively, then, my belief is that it can develop into a sickness, or you get like a wake-up call. You might get a disease, or you might get into a car accident or something that forces you to rest and forces you to slow down so that you can examine your life. And so it's time set aside to work on your soul, to work on yourself, to work, not every routine and not every time you do your morning routine are you going to feel like amazing. And I'll get into that. Sometimes your daily routine is to like deal with some anxiety that's bubbled up because of an email you got from work or you got laid off from a job, right? So it's just that time for you to work on you, to love you, to care for you. So we all know life is going very quickly. And I don't know, time is just like a crazy thing lately. It's going so fast and it's really only going to speed up. We have so much responsibility. There's so much pressure, right? The to-do list is never ending. And so it's my belief that if you want to have a relaxed nervous system, which is really just your ability to handle stress without, going haywire, is that you have to have a daily routine. It can be 3 minutes, it can be 60 minutes, but you have to have something where you're practicing peace. And this is how you're going to be present. This is how you're going to actually enjoy your life instead of like, all this life is hard, life is a struggle, all this. Like the only way that you're going to access this like true sense of enjoyment with life is to have this daily routine. The other belief I have is that working on your consciousness and spiritually maturing is actually the most important use of your time. I don't believe as a spiritual being you were put on this planet to like make a certain amount of money or have this, I think relationships are a big part of why you're here, but I think the reason we have relationships also is to mature spiritually. It's to work on your consciousness. And the yogic teaching is that the only thing you take with you when you die is the work you do on your soul. And so every prayer, every mantra, every meditation that you do, this space that you set aside to work on your consciousness, it allows your soul to mature so that, maybe you're totally liberated, or maybe your next lifetime isn't going to be so hard, isn't going to be so grueling, isn't going to be so challenging. And so that's my belief. You don't have to take that belief, but I think it. And I think if you're here or listening to this on the replay, on a soul level that work is the most important work. And that if you're not doing it, you feel like something's missing. And so this work on your routine is truly, it's not just about like, ooh, self-care, I'm having my morning routine. It's like, no, I'm working on my soul. And that leads me into my next point. Yes, it's self-care, of course, but it's so much more. It is spiritual work. And I really believe the work you do on your soul, the work you do on your spirit creates a ripple effect. I know if you're here, if you're in my community, you're somebody who cares about not just yourself, but about being the best person you can be. You care about making a positive impact on this planet, right? You all have big, huge hearts. And so a lot of times you think like in order to help others, you have to like donate food to a food shelf, or you have to, Erin hung this woman across the hall's picture on the wall and helped her with her window. Like these are all great, wonderful acts of service. But I think, yeah, you can do all those wonderful acts of service. But if you're stressed and anxious and you are just feeling that you are just struggling every day and you're just kind of going through the motions of those acts of service, again, to like check something off your list, it's not nearly as impactful to yourself or the planet as if you're sitting and working on being more peaceful. You're working on tapping into more gratitude and more love, because that creates a vibration, that creates a frequency that actually creates a ripple effect. When you're more peaceful, when you're more balanced, when you're more at ease, you're going to show up to work and your other relationships with this sense of safety, with being this lighthouse, and people are going to feel that. And you don't even have to open your mouth and preach or teach. You just are. You're peaceful, you're calm, you're at ease. That impacts people. That makes a difference in people's lives. And then they see you being peaceful, they see you being happy, they see you being at ease, and then they want what you're doing, and they want to model you. If you're listening to this, watching this here now, listening to the replay, you are a leader. I believe that I attract leaders, and I attract people that want to be a beacon of light in their communities. And so this is also work not just on yourself, but this is work we're also doing to benefit the planet. Now, I specifically chose to do this challenge in December because we are in the thick of the holiday season. I know from personal experience and working with all my one-on-one clients that this is the time of year where, there might be challenging family dynamics. You might have a lot more opportunities to socialize. There might be a lot more temptation for eating foods that aren't necessarily healthy or drinking more. And it's easy to put yourself and your routine on hold and kind of say, oh, I'll do that later. I'll start that in the new year. But I also think this is the most important time to work on yourself, to establish these routines so you can actually enjoy the holiday season. I also know that this could be a time where you are dealing with maybe more grief or emotions can start to surface during the holidays, right? Because maybe somebody you love isn't around anymore, right? This is just this time of year where emotions are heightened, and it can be really great emotions and it can be really challenging emotions, and it can be both at the same time. And so I really think this is probably the most common time of year where people like kind of allow themselves to get swept into the holiday madness, and then they let the routine fall to the wayside, and then it's like picking yourself back up in January when it's like actually the middle of winter and even almost a harder time to get going. And so let's just start now. Let's get this going now so we can almost like be ahead of everybody in their New Year's resolutions, and we can be like the leaders of the pack and all of that. Okay, so my intention for this is for you to show up for yourself and your soul every single day. And I want you to navigate the holidays with more ease, more peace, more balance. And my prayer is that you learn a lot. I want to provide so much value. Like I'm showing up, I want to give, give, give. I want you to have some mindset shifts, some breakthroughs, and I want you to take this routine and not just let this be the 5-day challenge and then be done. I want you to take this into 2025 and beyond to the rest of your life. So my intention is to create a strong sense of community. Yeah, Joan. Woo! Strong sense of community, a strong sense of accountability for each other, support, structure, and motivation throughout. So that's my intention. So now you're going to grab your journal and it's your turn. Okay. So grab your journal and we are going to do some intention setting, and then I'm going to get into the roadblocks, and then we're going to do our practice. Okay. So what is your intention for this routine? What is your big why for showing up this week and beyond for yourself? Now, don't overthink this. Just let the words fall onto the page. I know some of us are overthinkers. It's okay. But what is your intention for this routine? Why are you doing this? Why are you showing up for yourself? Why are you committing to this? I get a little music going. And if you're done, before everybody else, just maybe meditate on it, or you could even like take this and write it on a post-it note and have it so it's available for you to see, which I will again get into later. Okay, I also want you to write down when you're going to do your routine and how long you are committing to doing your routine. Now, what I'm going to be offering you this week is a 15-minute practice, but now I know that's not going to be possible for every single person. So, and maybe like you're one of my one-on-one clients right now, and you already have something that's like an additional, like you're already doing 30, 45, 60 minutes. Why don't you ramp it up? What are you going to add? What are you going to for sure do? But I also want you to make sure it's something you can stick to. So If you're like, yeah, I want to do the 15 minutes with Greta, but it's probably going to be more like 3 minutes, that's fine. Um, but if you're somebody who's like, okay, I'm already doing 45 minutes, maybe I'm gonna turn it up to 60. And I'm gonna do my practice and I'm gonna do the 15 minutes that Greta's doing every day. Okay, and now what else do I want to commit to outside of the challenge during this week? So while this is focused on sort of a spiritual routine, this is also a good time to establish some other healthy habits. So maybe that's eating at home. Maybe you want to set aside a certain amount of time going to the gym or going to your favorite fitness class. Maybe you don't want to spend money this week. Maybe you're done with the online shopping for the week. Maybe no scrolling before bed or right when you wake up. So write down anything else you want to commit to this week or some other routines you want to establish. When you're done, if anybody wants to share, I invite you to drop it into the chat. Your intention and or when you're gonna do your routine. Maybe you're a morning person, maybe you're an evening person, or if you want to drop any other habits you want to work on throughout the challenge, I invite you to drop that into the chat. Also drop the WhatsApp, although I don't want to read those, but I will drop the link in the chat as well. All right, I'll give it about 1 more minute here. Oh, here's Allie. My intention is to show up for myself so I can be more present, peaceful, and in tune with my true self. I love that so much. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Love, love, love. Anyone else? Any other brave souls want to drop their intention? Oh, here's Kimberly. Grounded and connected through holidays versus scattered. Allow more flow and receiving. I love that. Yeah, I think it's really easy during the holiday season to be like really in give mode. And I think if you're in my world, you're probably a little bit more of a giver than a receiver. So it's really, I love that one, Kimberly. Thank you for sharing. Joan, is it MK Fit? Yeah, okay. MK Fit on YouTube. I want to stick to this routine because I have been dropping out of it. Beautiful. Love that. Yes, great time for that. Kate, in the midst of a transition, need structure and a new routine as I figure out what's next for me. Oh, this is going to be perfect. I love it. All right. Okay, moving on. So, here's Hannah. Okay. Build a foundation to hold myself accountable, to show up for myself, and to build a community. I love it. Yes, I really want to build a community piece. I'm really excited about that. And I think a lot of people are craving it. I know I talk to my clients, they want more spiritually like-minded friends. So let's all be friends. Okay, so now we're going to go into the common roadblocks or setbacks for a daily routine and what to do about it. This is really important because if you haven't faced this now, you will probably face this in the future. And this is all from experience and from working with a lot of clients. So, okay, roadblock number 1 is waking up late and clicking snooze. Anybody done that before? Clicking snooze like 7 times, right? Okay, so what's the solution? The solution is you got to commit to waking up earlier, and you only have to wake up as much earlier as you need for the routine. So we're talking 15, maybe 20 minutes here, okay? Maybe it's a little bit more for you. So it's really not that much. And I can promise you that amount of sleep that you get while snoozing the alarm isn't very good sleep. So just know how much earlier, prepare the night before. And when you want to hit snooze, everybody, you have such beautiful intentions here. Put that intention, like I said, on a post-it note and come back to that intention when you want to hit snooze. Another thing that you can do is sort of train yourself before sleep. So like one thing you can do is like, as I sleep, I wake up 15 minutes earlier with ease. As I sleep, I wake up 15 minutes earlier with ease. Like you can tune yourself for what you want the next day right before you go to sleep, because that's when your subconscious mind is the most malleable. Okay. Okay, so the next roadblock is believing you can't do it because you're not consistent or bad at routine. You might have this identity or this belief about yourself that this is just like, this is going to be really hard. This is like you're somebody who just likes to fly by the seat of your pants. This is a simple one. This is an opportunity to create a new identity. You do not have to continue to believe that about yourself. The only person who's continuing to hold you into that belief is you. So just decide right now that you're done. You're done with this self-limiting belief, and you are the type of person who can have a routine and stick to it. The next roadblock is creating unrealistic expectations. I talked about this a little bit before, but if this is your first time doing a routine, like if you've never had a morning routine or an evening routine in your whole life, then I would just start small. And maybe even doing the replays is going to be too much. Maybe you do the first 5 minutes, because I'm going to be doing 15-minute chunks of three things that are 5 minutes. That's sort of what the plan is here. And so maybe you just do the first 5 minutes, or maybe you're going to listen to the replay and then you're going to do like 3 minutes. Like you got to figure out what's possible for you and not commit to doing something bigger than what, like biting off more than you can chew, and then you set up yourself up for failure. So start small, you can always build, right? Okay, the next one is, and this is one that I think is very challenging in our world, is going on your phone right away in the morning. And so I would, put it in airplane mode. I sleep with my phone in airplane mode, and then I play Gong for Deep Sleep from White Sun, which I highly recommend, playing a mantra or gong while you sleep. And then, or like maybe you get up and then you like put the phone outside of your room, or you even put it like across the room. Maybe you put some Kundalini mantras on, and then you just set it off, and then you can return to your phone when your routine is over. Because a lot of times if you go on your phone right away, you're going to look at emails, you're going to start scrolling, and then suddenly it's like you've wasted 15 minutes. The next roadblock is, this is just going to happen for sure, is battling with your subconscious mind, and it's going to have tons of excuses. So your lower self or your ego, it does not want you to change. It does not want you to have this morning routine and up level your life and be happier and more balanced, because that is unknown territory. Even though that would help you and be positive, it's you being happy and feeling in command of your days and having energy and feeling peace and getting along with people and taking time for yourself. That's unknown. That's uncharted territory. And so you are going to get all these excuses are going to bubble up, why you need more sleep, why you should press snooze, why it's a waste of time. And here's the thing. You are not your brain. Your brain, your subconscious mind is going to offer you all these excuses, and you can actually talk back to your brain and say, no, this is my why for doing this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to overcome this. And just know that like you are not these excuses. You are not your subconscious mind. But I think just knowing that it's going to pop up, I know with my one-on-one clients, just knowing that this is something that can and will happen helps you to be like, oh, there it is. Like, okay, there it is. That's my subconscious mind. It's not me. It's not real. Okay, the next roadblock is wondering if you're doing it wrong. This is a big one. Wondering if you're doing it wrong, feeling distracted, and being attached to it being better or more. So the purpose of the routine is to commit to showing up for your highest self daily. It's not about having a perfect practice. This is not about becoming the perfect meditator. This is not about like doing it so it feels like orgasmic every day. Like it's going to look and feel different every day, and it's not your job to judge whether your routine was good or bad. It's your job to show up, do it the best you can, and know that that is enough. Right? Some days it is going to feel joyful and connected, and it's just going to be like, oh my God, I like am just like, I'm so vibing right now. And some days you're gonna sit there and you're gonna wish it was over, and it's gonna feel like a big waste of time, and you're gonna be in your head. And that is what it is. Who's to say one is better than the other? Sometimes I think when you sit there and you finish it, even when it's hard, even when you want to stop, those are actually like more powerful practices than like it being easy and getting blissed out. And so just don't be attached to the outcome. Remember, it's about the commitment. Happiness comes from committing to yourself every day. It doesn't come from being attached to this perfect meditation practice and then like being down on yourself when it doesn't look how you think it should. The other big roadblock that happens is giving up if you miss a day. A lot of people get excited and motivated in the beginning. This is with any challenge. This is with any workout routine, New Year's resolution, right? And it's like, yes, I'm in. I'm like, I got this. You have all this energy. And then you maybe skip a day and then you beat yourself up. And then then you get back to that identity of, oh, I can never stick with anything. And you create this whole story about yourself. And it's like, doom and gloom and then you wait till next year to do the reset your routine challenge. So look, this is like building a new muscle, so it's gonna take some time. And the most important thing is that if you miss a day is that you come back to it. Okay, so just start again tomorrow. Like it's really not worth going even deeper into this one. It's like just start again. Okay, you skipped a day, I forgive myself, I'm gonna start again, and then it's not a problem. Which leads me into my next one, and this is something I say to my clients all the time. I know if you're one of my clients, which many of you are, you've heard me say this a million times. You are not allowed to use your routine or your practice against yourself because you think it needs to be perfect, right? This is like you make it bad or wrong if your practice wasn't perfect, if you didn't do it all, if you did it for less time. I've been here many, many times. Like I have been such an inner drill sergeant about my daily routine. But remember, this practice is for you. There is no God. There is no judge watching you, judging you, rating you on how well you did this. I'm certainly not doing that. I can promise you that. So do not do this to yourself. Okay. This is meant to enhance your life, not stress you out. And I know if you're anything like me, like you love to learn about new things and new self-care practices, and right, Instagram and TikTok are going to tell you all the ways that things should be done and all the ways that it should look. And then it's like suddenly your self-care list is like it's so big and so daunting, and it's like, oh my God, how do I do it all? This isn't about like doing it perfect or doing it all. It's about making this work for you. And I will tell you, after doing this for a very long time, I've tweaked things, I've tried different things, and it's just it's developing. It's always developing. Some days I need things to look a little bit different. Some days I have more time, some days I have less time, and that's okay. So don't make this like a problem or like another thing to beat yourself up for. Give yourself grace. Be kind, be proud of yourself, and celebrate whatever you are able to do. Because in this world, this is not easy to even just do it in the first place. So anything, even just showing up today is like, I want you to feel really good about yourself. You took time for yourself, and I know there are a lot of other things you could be doing. So good job. You're doing it. And if you're listening to the replay, you're amazing too. Okay, super, super quick Kundalini overview. I know for a lot of you, this is going to be a review, and then I'm going to do an EFT tapping overview because I don't want every day to be talking about what these things are. I want to get into the practices and get into the coaching. Okay, so Kundalini Yoga, it is the yoga of awareness. It works on the subconscious mind. It clears subconscious blockages, which are any ideas, patterns, habits, beliefs, identities that are not you, that you've taken on from childhood, or maybe you've even taken on from generational trauma that have shaped you to thinking you're something that you're not. Kundalini helps to clear that away with mantra, which you'll learn about more as we move forward, breath work, meditation, and movement. And it's these four things together that help to create new neural pathways in your brain. And the whole purpose of Kundalini Yoga is to give you more energy. And when you have more energy, you have more opportunities, you make better decisions, you have access to higher frequencies, you have access to more creative ideas. It basically clears away all the gunk so that you can see clearly, so that you can be present, so that you can operate as your highest self. Now, Kundalini can be a little bit strange. It can be a little uncomfortable. And the thing is it's supposed to be, because when you do things with your hands and you're chanting mantras and breathing in a certain way that you wouldn't do in everyday life, that's when you start to, you got to think about it as like you've been driving on the same dirt road back and forth, back and forth. Maybe I'm not enough or I'm stressed or life is hard and you've been driving and driving on the same dirt road and it's this thick road. Now, Kundalini is like doing all these other shapes on the dirt road so that one groove doesn't get so thick and deep. You start to see other ways of thinking and other ways of acting, and you start to be more solution oriented. And so, you may notice yourself judging. You may feel awkward. It may feel very strange at first. And that's just your mind jumping in. I'm a very seasoned teacher. I know exactly what I'm doing. This is very safe. I know there's some weird stuff out there about Kundalini. None of it is true from my experience. What I teach is very safe, very grounded, very healing, very positive. And I promise that I'm going to guide you in a way that's going to allow you to reap all the benefits. With that said, my friends know this with Kundalini, when you really start to get into this practice, I'm not going to go too deep into this now. It can also bring up opportunities to let things go. So if any anxieties, emotions, anything comes up during your Kundalini practice, just know it's coming up to be cleared. It's not a problem, okay? And your job is to just keep coming back to the practice, keep coming back to the directions. That's Kundalini Yoga. Okay, EFT tapping, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, is a super simple yet powerful practice that works on acupressure points that relate to the different meridians in your body. If you've had acupuncture, you'll know about this. And we use intention, affirmations to you reduce stress, to clear emotional patterns. And when you stimulate these energy points while saying certain phrases out loud, again, you're rewiring the brain, you're rewiring how you react to, like, let's say you're tapping on stress. You tap on stress, you kind of bring that stress up, you clear out the stressful idea and emotion, and then maybe you're faced with that situation again, you're going to have a different reaction to it because you've sort of rewired your subconscious mind. And I love it. It's a beautiful practice. I think you'll probably resonate with one more than the other. That's totally normal. And so this challenge is going to, each day we're going to do like a different sort of 15-minute experience, a 15-minute routine that you can try, kind of putting in different things that I like to try, and you're going to find something that you love and that works for you. And so you know you best. I'm not going to tell you how to think or feel or, which one's going to be better for you. This is your own intuitive journey, and I think that's beautiful. Okay. Okay. Gosh, I was like, am I going to have too much time? Am I going to not have enough time? So we're going to get into this practice. And what you're going to do is, like, if you want to practice with this tomorrow before the 10 a.m. Central call, then you're just going to have to take this recording that I send you and then find the point in the recording where this part starts and do this 15 minutes. And I will try to have that marked for you when I send the replay so you don't have to think about that. And then we're going to end with coaching. We're going to end with some group coaching, questions, anything like that. If there's a lot of people who want coaching, I'm happy to go a little bit over. If not, we're going to be doing more coaching tomorrow. Okay. All right. So the first step is journaling. So we're going to first start with a 5-minute journaling practice. So grab your journaling or grab your journal. Just getting my clock going here. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so please start by writing what I am grateful for and why. And I like to start this by writing, I am so happy and grateful. Here's an example. I am so happy and grateful for my health because it allows me to do the things I love with energy and ease. So we're going to aim for 5 or 10 things here, but I'll just tell you when to switch to the next prompt. It's really important you get the why. Because sometimes when we write gratitude, we just like, I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my cat. And then it's like, there's no energy there. It's just like kind of going through the motions. So feel into it. I'm so happy and grateful for my amazing cozy house because it's so safe. And I love my home like that. Okay. You're on the clock. A little music on for journaling. Okay, the next part of this journaling is thoughts I choose to think today. So these are I am statements or positive beliefs, such as I am safe, life supports me, I live in peace and gratitude, my income is constantly increasing. Just start to list the thoughts you want to think today. Okay, the last part of the journaling is you're going to script your day or something in the future. So this is like, wow, I am so excited and happy I got this new job. It's going so well. I love my coworkers. Like, I'm feeling so abundant. Or maybe you're somebody who's working on money management. Like, oh my gosh, I looked at my bank account today. I have more money than I've ever had. You're just going to spend some time like a little journal entry from the future, kind of tapping into that future self of like having something that you're maybe working on manifesting now. Okay, wrap that up. Now sit up nice and tall. We're going to move into Kundalini. We're going to do the addiction meditation. I know some of you know this one. Rub your palms together, create a little bit of heat between your hands. Press your thumbs into your sternum, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Lengthen through the back of your neck. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to tune in. Om Namo Guru Deva Namo. Om Namo Guru Deva Namo. Om Namo Guru Inhale deeply. Squeeze your mula bandha, lift up rectum, sex organs, navel, focus third eye. Press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And exhale. And now the protection mantra, inhale. Adguru Name, Jugadguru Name, Satguru Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Adguru Name, Jugadguru Name, Satguru Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Adguru Name, Jugadguru Name, Satguru Name, Siddhi Gurudev Name. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. I'll send the tune in the email so you know what that is. Okay, fingers into the pads like this, thumbs out. You're going to place your thumbs at your temples. And now squeeze the back molars together. So molars squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. And when you do that, you should feel something underneath your thumbs move. And you're mentally chanting sa, ta, na, ma. So squeeze sa, squeeze ta, squeeze na, squeeze ma. Long deep breaths in and out of your nose. You're on the clock. Eyes are closed, rolled up to the third eye. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, relax, and take right hand on top of left. Press your thumb tips to touch. And now we're going into the final part of your morning routine or your daily routine. And now I'm just going to have you visualize and feel the energy of you in your highest, happiest, joyful self. So this part of the practice is about visualization. So you can visualize yourself going through your day. Maybe you want to think about your day tomorrow, feel it going well, see all the things that you are going to be doing, see that email coming in that you're so excited about. See that appointment going really well. Maybe somebody is saying yes to you. Maybe you're looking in the mirror and you're just feeling really confident about your reflection. Another way you can spend this time is sending love to people in your life or all the people that in situations you're going to meet during the day. Now, if you're somebody who struggles with visualization, I know that some people, this just doesn't work. You can use this time to pray. I will focus on prayer specifically another day, but you can also spend this time to just pray for people that are struggling, pray for a situation in your life that you're feeling challenged with. So just spend some time here praying, reflecting, maybe just feeling into that gratitude or success, going through your day. There's a lot of ways you can spend this time, but I think I gave you plenty of options to try on. All right, take a deep inhale, breathe into every cell of your being, just feeling so grateful, so lit up, so energized. And exhale, let it go. Now place your palms at your heart, press your palms together, and set an intention now to think, speak, and act as your highest self. Set the intention now to lead with love, to learn and grow through peace and compassion, to serve at the highest possible level, and to live your highest destiny. Ask for support and guidance from God, guides, angels, spirit, the universe. Invite a higher power in if that resonates with you to protect you and to guide you today. Just say thank you. We'll just end with one long Sat Nam to close out this practice. Take a deep inhale. So no. Feel the shift that you've created from this routine. Feel the peace. Feel the energy. Sat Nam. Okay, beautiful job. That was so fun. Imagine starting your day like this every single day. All right. Does anybody have any questions or would anybody like coaching on anything in particular? I think oh wait. Yeah, just let me know. You can unmute yourself and chime on in. Or if you have a question or something you want to drop in the chat, that works too. With the group coaching, it can be like, hey, I've really struggled with this as far as my routine in the past, or this is coming up this holiday season. How do I navigate this? It can really be anything.
Okay.
Yay, Kate. Woo woo, we gotta take her. Okay, we might go
Yeah.
a little bit over if you have to leave, guys. Just it's totally fine. This is all gonna be recorded. Otherwise, stay if you can. Okay. How
Man, hi, Greta.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good
Thank
to
you so much for doing this.
Yay. Thanks for coming.
So, my human design is a manifesting generator.
Yeah.
So routines are not my thing.
Yep.
So, any special advice knowing that?
Okay, I love it. So it's the first thing that I would call out is it's kind of exactly what I said as the roadblock is like routines are not my thing. So that's an identity. And I would also offer to you that while that may be true, and I know like, right, Hannah, I hope you don't mind. She's also a man, Jen, also a quote unquote inconsistent. So some of you may have that design, and I always have my man, Jens in mind. I always have my inconsistence in mind. So for those who are new to human design, there's an arrow in your human design. I think Allie, you're an inconsistent too, is right, I believe. Yeah. So your arrow, your upper left-hand arrow is either going to face right or left. If it faces right, you are somebody who is more wired for variety. Routine and consistency is going to be a little more challenging. It can sometimes even be stifling, right, Kate? I'm sure you can
Mhm.
resonate with that. And if it points left, like myself, and I think Kimberly, and I think Russ, and maybe some of you other folks on here, is like routine's gonna like fuel you and be much easier. So I'm always have my man gens in mind. Now this challenge is for you, Kate, because every day is going to be a little bit different. And I think I really believe, like even as a man gen, even as somebody who is an inconsistent, I think having a daily practice, and maybe you want to think about it less as a practice but more as a routine, is going to be like your routine can look a lot of different ways. So for my man gens, for my inconsistent, maybe sometimes you do it in the morning, sometimes you do it in the afternoon, sometimes you do the tapping, sometimes you do the Kundalini. And this is why I love Kundalinis. There's like a lot of different Kundalini to choose from. So I would say for like thinking it, because if like you think routine and consistency and you're just like, oh, like that just doesn't sound good, which I get for my inconsistence and for my man gens, is I would think about this more of like a daily self-connection practice. And then that might take that kind of routine charge out of it. And just know that as long as you're tapping into that daily connection, at some point throughout the day, then that's what this is. That's how you can make this successful. And like remember that it can work for you and you're meant to make it work for you. So keep the variety going, try something new every day, but still do something. And I once heard this man, Jen, she did a beautiful podcast. She does a human design podcast, and she was talking about being a manifesting generator and being having that same experience of having a hard time sticking to routine and consistency. And she said, you need to know as a man, Jen, or an inconsistent when it is time to like really give something up, or you're kind of doing it for the wrong reasons, or you're trying to put a circle into a square peg or whatever that saying is. And sometimes when it is actually an opportunity to move through resistance,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes as a man gen, like, yeah, it's like maybe you don't want to do the meditation practice and you have a lot of resistance, but is that resistance because you're a manifesting generator? Is that more like the subconscious mind resistance?
Mhm. Perfect. I love it.
Is that helpful?
Totally. I love just the idea that it can be a morning thing and a nighttime thing. It doesn't have to be every morning.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
just don't hold yourself to that standard, knowing yourself.
Hmm.
Like don't hold yourself to it looking the same way every day because that's actually not going to work for you.
Hmm. Thank
So,
you.
of
Makes sense.
course, thank you for asking.
Sure.
I know Hannah here in the group, we've had a lot of talks about this and she's in the WhatsApp group. So go in the WhatsApp group. I think it'd be fun for us the man gen inconsistents to kind of connect on this a little bit. And I know Rosie, hopefully she'll pop in the group. She has a lot of experience with this and a viewpoint on this that I think, we can support each other with. So yay. Anybody else? Or does anybody want to share anything, share any insights from the routine, any best practices that have worked for them? Anything on like any of the stuff I shared at the beginning? Oh, go ahead.
Greta, I dropped in the chat just my whole piece. Like, I don't know that today is not the day I'm going to show up and I move through the biggest block. So, on the days when I don't feel like doing it, I literally have to remind myself, like, what if today's the day that I'm doing addiction, that I break something or that I have the biggest jump of my life?
Love.
So, it's because I get it. Like there are days where like, oh, make an excuse. I'm not going to do it. And I have literally done my routine at 10 p.m. at night in a hotel room because I'm like, shit, I have to show up for myself today. And I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Kimberly is also a master routiner. So she'll hopefully pop into the WhatsApp group and she can share lots of insight. She's just been so amazing at being consistent with this. And also, I know I love how she made that point. Like I will be very frank with you. I've done this Kundalini practice in these 7 years, hungover, food poisoned, very sick. Like it's not going to look the same way every day, but I like and I'm a little bit of a stickler about this stuff, but I'm like even with food poisoning, like I at least did my addiction meditation. Like even when I'm hungover, like I at least, you know what I mean? I did something and it's the Kundalini teaching is like you do something and that's going to move your life forward. Like this is the work that's going to move your life forward and if you have even like the worst day ever, but you did your spiritual practice, you did your Kundalini, like you moved your life forward. It wasn't a wasted day. Not that any day is wasted, but I think when you do a Kundalini practice or a morning routine or some sort of practice, it's like you did the work on your soul that is the most important. Yay, Joan. Thank you so much for showing up. All right. I would love to allow you all to get on with your evenings. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything they'd like to add? Anybody else want coaching?
Just a quick question about the WhatsApp. I
Yes.
see I see the link here, but
Yes.
does your meeting room have a name or
It should be the routine reset challengers.
Yeah, I'm not added to it either. I'm on the other Sedona and Joshua tree, but
So you have to click into the link, Anna.
I
this
have the app.
it downloads it onto your
Oh,
computer?
you didn't have it yet. Oh, so do it on your phone.
Okay.
And
I have it on the phone.
it's in the email that I sent before this call. So definitely, yeah, it's going to be easiest to access on your phone. And then I'm going to be dropping little nuggets in there every day. And I want you to add, I'd love for my man gens and my inconsistents to kind of share that. Allie Glover's another, and she's been absolutely amazing with sticking to a routine and, with a little one at home. So we have lots of beautiful examples of people who, for all the reasons some of you have been doing this a long time, have been working with me a long time. And so, I think a lot of you can add some words of wisdom and encouragement for each other. And when you do your routine, like drop it in the challenge, like, hey, did it today, woo woo, like let's cheer each other on. And don't again use that against yourself, like, hey, I had a really hard time with the challenge today, but I'm gonna start again tomorrow. Like it's all good. Okay. Otherwise, we are going to start tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central. I know that's maybe a weird time if you're working. No problem. I'll send the link and you can watch the replay at your convenience. And in that case, like do the routine today, tomorrow, unless you're going to do it tomorrow with us live on the call. And if you want to bring stuff to coach on, bring stuff to be coached on. Like Kate, thank you for showing up and asking. I love to do coaching, and I'm excited to offer this as well. So, all right. Anything else, friends?
Love your Christmas tree.
It's not quite done. Like one random strand of lights. Not with my designer husband, not intentional. We're getting there. Okay. I love you all so much.
Thank you.
Please reach
Bye.
out, pop into the
Thank
WhatsApp.
you.
Okay, lots of love, my friends. Bye now.